Intimacy over 70, and oh, how it changes as we age. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, today is kind of an uncomfortable topic for me to discuss, but I feel it's important, I feel it's necessary, and I feel it affects most all of us. If it hasn't already, it certainly will in the future. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. Well, those of you that know me, you know I cut right to the chase. So the question is, what do you do when physical intimacy is no longer an option? Now, I refer to physical intimacy in this video. I'm actually talking about, I can't even say the word, sex, but I'm going to call it physical intimacy. Physical intimacy covers far more than just, that word I can't say. It covers so many areas. It covers emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, and physical intimacy in the way of touch, the power of touch. Intimacy is a deep, deep connection with someone on a level that we haven't had before. It involves our emotions, our vulnerability, our understanding, our acceptance, our friendship, our companionship, pretty much everything in our lives together. And I'm talking about this because I want you all to know that you can have a very deep level of intimacy, even though you can no longer have that physical intimacy. So, what are some reasons why you can no longer have physical intimacy when you become a senior or as you continue to age? Maybe not everybody gets in that situation, but many things arise that will cause you to be in that position. Most of them are health related. Medications you take, diabetes, heart attack, strokes, surgeries, chronic pain, so many different things that can happen that can completely change a particular part of our life. Also, women have female problems. They could have a prolapse of some kind and many other different things. A lot of men, even if they don't have prostate cancer, they have an enlarged prostate, which can affect that area of their life. So these are things that are, I guess, common to seniors, and we're going to experience them. But that doesn't mean that life gets less. That means that life gets more. It gets even better. And I can personally attest to that. So before I continue on and share what we can do, what you can do, what I've done to build a very intimate connection in all ways, physically, physical touch, mentally, and spiritually. I'm going to share a personal story because this has affected my life. Many of you know that Dave, my husband, was diagnosed with prostate cancer about 9 years ago, and it was advanced. His prostate had to come out along with a few other things in there. I don't know what they're called, but they're male parts or something. And that surgery caused nerve damage, a lot of nerve damage. And so that changed that part of his life. That part of his life would never come back. It wasn't going to return in time or anything like that. It was just over, just like that. So, although he lost that part of his life, he still has his life and is doing well. And in addition to that, he gained such a big part of life with a deep, abiding, connecting intimacy. So, if you have had a life changing event in that way, I'm going to give you some ideas, some ways that you can build a deeper intimacy and a closeness like maybe you've never had before. The first thing we did was redefine intimacy. Intimacy is also about a deep connection, a great affection, and a deep love and understanding for one another. That is intimacy. There were three key areas of intimacy that we needed to look at in life. That is emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, and physical intimacy as far as physical touch, like hugging, holding hands. I'll tell you, there's nothing better than holding hands. It is so deeply connecting. It makes me feel very loved, safe, protected, and a strong, strong closeness. As far as hugs go, my gosh, everybody needs hugs. Hugs give you a feeling that you're cared for, that you're loved, and putting your arm around someone. Just gentle things like that, little ways of physical touch go a long way in connecting. As far as emotional intimacy, you really have to build those strong bonds with each other. You have to share. You have to be vulnerable. You have to trust. You have to open up in ways that maybe you never have before, like really sharing your feelings, having those deep conversations. You have to communicate on a level that maybe you never have before. You have to communicate and talk about the ways that you are going to maintain your closeness to each other. You have to listen to each other, accept each other's parts of the conversation, and really take a deep dive into them. You have to build your friendship and your companionship, and that can be profoundly intimate. I mean, I think we're already companions if we're with someone, and hopefully we have a friendship, but I'm talking on a level that maybe we've never explored before. It becomes extremely important to have and to value a friendship and a companionship with your partner when there's not that other way to do it. So you really dig deep and start to see what really makes the difference. You start to appreciate really being with the other person. It's not just something you do, it's something you look forward to and you value, and it has deep meaning to you. You start to share more because you truly see that person as your friend, your best friend, your confidant, someone that will lift you up, someone that won't judge you and will understand where you're coming from. And most of all, you have to have gratitude. Be positive, be thankful for what you do have. Don't look at what you lost or what you're losing. Look at what you've gained and all that you will continue to gain. Appreciate each other. Talk about the value that your partner brings into your life and thank them. And then there is the spiritual intimacy, the deepest one of all, the most important, the most connecting. When you pray together, it creates a oneness, a bond that seals you together. When you reflect on things and share your spiritual journey with your partner, that you talk about your faith, you lift each other up, you pray for each other, you pray with each other, there's nothing that tops that. When my ma was dying, this was not quite 2 years ago, and she was in the active stage of dying. When Dave read Psalm 23 to her, "The Lord is my shepherd," that touched me more than anything else ever has. When he stood there and prayed for my ma and for God to take her into heaven, that was a closeness like no other. So your spiritual intimacy is the foundation for everything else. And I feel it is the most important. Well, that's my talk on intimacy over 70, or really any age, because we never know when things are going to change our life or someone gets sick. People get sick at 30 years old or any age. When you lose your legs or become paralyzed, those things can happen all throughout life. And we probably don't think about it when we're young, but when you get older, even if you haven't thought about it, most likely it's going to enter your life. And you want to be prepared and you want to have solid ground to stand on and realize that life isn't over because you're losing this one little piece. A whole new world is going to open up. And in some ways, life is just beginning. Well, now I'm going to leave you with an inside beauty tip. My inside beauty tip comes from 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. This is really all about love. We love each other. We love our partners, and they love us. But sometimes the way that we express that love changes. That's just normal as you age. That doesn't mean your love can't get stronger. It's not going to diminish your love. It's going to enrich your love and your care for one another. It doesn't take away from what you have. It adds to what you have in a way and on a level that you may not have ever experienced before. I don't know if any of you have already encountered these changes, you've already been through them, or you are anticipating them to come in the near future. But all I can tell you is the rewards that come from finding this newer, deeper, intense intimacy on the spiritual and emotional levels is everything. That other part of your life, that physical intimacy that may have had to come to an end due to medical problems and things like that, there is a whole new beginning that waits for you, and it will enrich your life more than you could ever imagine. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.